and welcome to a special Blue Peter. We've left the studio in London and joined a bring and buy sale for our leprosy appeal.
We're at College Hall, which is right next door to Hereford Cathedral, and running the sale are the pupils from the Hereford Cathedral School.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty to cheer about on today's programme. In a moment, Katie takes a bull by the horns for a whistle-stop tour around the city of Hereford.
I go time travelling with the help of some of Hereford's oldest and rarest treasures.
And join me in the kitchen as I cook up a culinary festive treat, which is edible. Well, we're back here at the hall now. As you can see, it's already filled up with hundreds of bringers and buyers snapping up some treats for festivities for Christmas. Now, as all BP viewers know, that the best things about bring and buy sales are bringing things as well. I've got two helpers here, Joanne and Kerry. Thank you very much for coming in. If you turn around here, you can show what you brought in. What's this?
A King of the Jungle game and a tea set, and I have checked that the tea set is all there.
Well done, Joanne. And what about you, Kerry? What have you brought in?
500-piece puzzle and a cake, and a few weeks ago I done the puzzle and I checked that all the
all
pieces were
500 pieces there. Well, well done. You both deserve bringers badges. I'll stick one there for you and one over there for you. And if I could take all those off you, load them on top, I'll make sure they go on the right stall to sell. See you later. Thanks a lot.
Well, hey, just had our first sale there. Excellent. Here I am at the bookstall. Got loads of books. Winnie the Pooh, Little Mermaid, and of course Enid Blyton and the Famous Five, my favourite. So how's it going, Charlie?
Fine.
Great. You're selling lots of books?
Yes, tons of them.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. What about you, Katie? What's your favourite book on this stall?
My favourite book on this stall is Enid Blyton book.
Yeah, it's the same as me. We've got the same books we like. What else? Oh.
Excuse me, I have here some rather rare BP annuals. Take a look at those now. Now, I think we should price these up here, and I think you get a good price for that and earn lots of money for your stall. Now, there's all sorts of stalls here. One of my favourites is actually just down here. It's sort of really everything you need to go to school with, really. There's sort of pencil cases and all sorts of things. What's been selling well?
Well, this T-shirt, this hat here has been selling extraordinarily well.
Right, and also there is the T-shirt as well, which Thomas is modelling. Well, hey, Thomas. And you're doing very well.
Yeah.
Good, raising lots of money. That's excellent. Now, Hereford has one of the oldest cathedrals in England, and it has lots more to boast about than that as well. Now, Katie has been taking the bull by the horns, and she's been going on the trail to find out about the sights and sounds of Hereford.
Hereford is a busy market town in the green border country between England and Wales. It's famous for many things, including apples, many of which end up as cider, which is drunk all over the world. The most famous of all Hereford's exports has got a white face and a warm brown coat, the Hereford bull. Here you go, guys. Hello there. This is no ordinary Hereford bull. His name is Kudos, and he's got a bit of a claim to fame, haven't you, Kudos? Yes. The Hereford breed has been around for nearly 300 years. They're rugged and adaptable and can survive in almost any conditions. Oh, is that a nice little scratch? They are incredibly docile. Even a fully grown bull, 20 times my weight, can be trained to be led on a simple rope halter. And that's exactly what Kudos has been known to do at the home of Hereford's football team, Hereford United. United! On big occasions, he's the team's lucky mascot. Last year, Hereford played Spurs in the Cup and Kudos was on parade. Well, today, Kudos has stayed on the farm, but I've come to the football ground to meet someone who's about to become very big in Hereford. 14-year-old Vaughan Hyatt was relaxing before one of the biggest nights of his life. And how are Hereford United doing at the moment?
I've heard from a friend at school that they're third from the bottom of the league.
Oh, they've got a bit of work to do then.
Yeah.
And this is actually my first time ever in Hereford. What would you say the main attractions are here?
I'd recommend the Cider Museum. It's a good visit. But of course you can't miss the cathedral. It's a lovely sight.
It's very, very beautiful, isn't it? And you've got quite a background there, haven't you?
I was a chorister for 6 years. Until my voice broke. Yeah.
So now you can have a rest now that your voice is broken. Well, the players are coming out.
Yeah.
Come on, boys! Do you want a sweet?
Well, thank you very much.
What a huge bag. It should last us right the way through the match. And really, all the best for tonight.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'll be there watching and rooting for you. The first stones of Hereford Cathedral were laid over 900 years ago, which makes it one of the oldest cathedrals in England. It's been changed a lot over the centuries, and repairs and alterations are still going on today. Vaughan goes to the school attached to the cathedral, as do the boys who sing in the cathedral choir. The boys here are auditioned for the choir when they're 7 or 8, and although it's a very big honour, it often means getting up early in the morning for choir practice. School starts at 9:15, but the choristers have to turn up for rehearsals with Dr. Roy Massey at 8:15 every morning, including Saturdays. While their friends can go home as soon as school finishes, the choir stays on to sing in the cathedral at 5:30 every evening. Well, it's 5 o'clock, and here in Hereford, most people are going home after a day's Christmas shopping or an afternoon at the football match. But here at the cathedral, people are arriving for a very special service. Vaughan was about to become one of the most important children in Hereford.
Vaughan, you have been chosen to serve in the office of Boy Bishop in this cathedral church of St Mary and St Ethelbert in Hereford.
Each year, in a ceremony older than the cathedral itself, Hereford installs a boy bishop who must preach a sermon to the assembled congregation.
I shall be 19 at the turn of the century, hopefully still in education and working towards my career, which I should like to be in the Air Force.
From the end of this service until Christmas, Vaughan Hyatt is the boy bishop of Hereford.
And we'll be seeing a little bit more of Vaughan later, won't we? Because he's got a very
will.
special job to do.
Yes, indeed, very
Watch out
important.
for that one. Now, this stall's really all about Hereford, and it's Dominic, Chris, Sophie and Alex, I think, in that sort of order. Anyway, now, these are all Hereford United strip here. How are they doing? How did they do on Saturday?
They lost against Carlisle 3-2, unfortunately.
They lost again.
Yeah.
Come on, you Bulls, you can do it. That's what we want. And this is, of course, their little mascot here. Do you want to model this? This will be going to someone today as well. There it is, the Hereford United strip. Also, we got Christmas cards. Are always a good thing to sell at this time of year.
Yeah, this Christmas cards of Hereford Cathedral with the choristers.
Brilliant, looks great that. And what was that just fell over here?
Well, some pottery that people have made but haven't claimed.
Right, and you're selling that?
Yeah.
Brilliant. All money towards the appeal, which is really good news.
Yeah, interesting stall there. Well, it's not just the children of
give me a hand
Hereford
with this.
Cathedral School that are running these stalls, because we've got James and Robert here, who represent 2 of Hereford's 18 Cub packs. And today it's a very, very special day for them and for Cubs all over the world, because today it's their 80th birthday. On the 16th of December 1916, Robert Baden-Powell founded the Wolf Cubs, as they were called. It was a special club for boys under 11 who were too young to be scouts but wanted to have the same sort of fun and adventure as their older brothers and friends. Well, nowadays girls can be scouts too, you'll be pleased to hear, and 1 out of 4 adults have at some point been involved in Cub Scouting. So why, James, do you like the Cubs?
Well, you play loads of games, do loads of things, go places, and it's real fun.
Yeah, I bet. And how long have you been in the Cubs, Robert?
About 2 years.
Really? And have you done anything special to celebrate the birthday?
Yeah, we've had a party, had some food, and played loads of games.
Oh, I wish I'd been there. And listen, have you made anything for this stall, you guys?
Yeah, I've made some chocolate fudge there.
Aha, which leads us on nicely to another young man who's very good at making things. Can you guess who that is? He was also Cub of the Year 2 years running. Now, guess who it is?
Yes, thank you very much, Romana. That itsy-bitsy little cute Cub Scout was, of course, me. And whilst I was seconder of the Green Pack, I managed to get my cookery badge. So today, in the refectory at the cathedral, I'm going to show you how to make something very simple indeed. It's that old festive favourite, mince pies. But there's something special about them. The casing isn't made out of pastry, but bread. It's sprinkled with delicious brown sugar, and on the inside, it's mince meat. Now, as I've said, they're very, very simple to make. And you could either make them as a last-minute Christmas present, or, as I'm going to do today, actually make some up to sell at our Blue Peter Bring and Buy sale. But I'm not going to do it on my own. I've got two helpers here, Alex and William, both Cub Scouts. Say hello, guys.
Hi.
Are you ready to help me cook?
Yes.
Right, get to your first stations. That's what I like. Confidence. Now, the first thing you need is 12 slices of medium white bread and 2 cutters, one larger than the other. Place the large one into the corner of your bread. Press down, turn it around until you've cut it out, and then push it out. And that's going to make the base of your mince pie. And if you've got the sizes right, the small one should just have enough room to cut another piece out, which is going to be the top of your mince pie. Now, what am I going to do with the excess bread, Alex?
You can either feed it to the birds so that it is winter and they get very cold,
Yeah.
or if you were having a party, you can make these lovely stars.
Now, maybe we'll have a party later on, but you can take all that away at the moment. I'm ready for my butter. Are you there, William?
Yep.
Excellent. Using an oven glove as well. It's nice and cool. I can bring that in over there. Now, you need 50 grams of either butter or margarine, and gently heat it up. Not too fast, otherwise it will go a horrible brown colour. And then smear it all over your mince pie. Not too much, otherwise it'll go soggy, but enough to cover it all the way around like that. There you go. Butter or margarine does the trick. And then I can hopefully put it in my baking tray. Bring that in. Thank you very much. Just turn it around and then seal it at the bottom like that, pressing it in all the way around. Don't worry about greasing the tray because the butter is enough on its own. And then we're ready to put in 12 teaspoons of mince, 1 in each mince pie. 1, 2, and we'll do that all the way along. While I do that, I'll run through this very simple recipe. You need just 12 slices of medium white bread, 12 teaspoons of mincemeat, and also 50 grams of either butter or margarine, and 25 grams of brown fine sugar. Not white sugar, but brown sugar. There you go. And don't be too generous with your mincemeat because you've got to fill 12 of these. Look at that. Look at that. Look, just enough for the last one. In it goes like that. And then you simply butter the top of your mince pies like that and place it over your brown sugar. Press it down like that so that the butter picks up your sugar. There you go. Hey, presto. Oh, my goodness me. Tragedy in the kitchen. And squeeze it down like that. Fits rather nicely. Let's just do another one. Press it down. Not too much sugar on it. Otherwise, it'll be a bit too sweet. Then press it down over like that. And hey, we've got time. Let's do another one. And it goes like that. There we go. Press it over the top, over there. And then hopefully one of you can take it away for us, Alex. Yeah. Finish them off, put them in the cooker, and we just need to do that for 10 minutes on 180 degrees Celsius or gas mark 4 until, thank you very much, they're golden brown like these over here. Now we've allowed these to cool down, so let's take the knife and slice them out like that. Put them onto this plate of golden brown mince pies, which as you can see are absolutely beautiful. Why don't you both take one, guys? Now, because they're made out of bread and not pastry, they don't keep that well. So we're going to rush these over to the cathedral now and sell them at the Bring and Buy sale. What do you think?
Delicious. Nice.
Nice. Would you buy some?
Yeah.
Let's hope Romana and Stuart can sell them.
We'll have no problem selling those. I can't wait to try them, actually.
I know. Save us some, Tim, please.
Absolutely. It's a Bring and Buy frenzy here. All we need is a bit of music, I think.
Absolutely. If that's what you want, Stuart, and that's what you'll get. To get this place really jumping, here are Sounding Brass with Hip Lips 2. fantastic. Nothing like a brass band. Woo! Brilliant. Now, we've been doing loads of Christmas shopping here. Now, what have you bought, Tom?
I bought some books for Christmas presents, and I bought this cap as well.
Oh, groovy. I like it. You must try it on now. That's right, pop it on. What about you? What have you bought?
Well, I bought some treacle toffee for my brother.
Oh, he's going to love
and
that.
I bought some drink, which I've already drunk.
Yeah, and I think candy drink. All this Christmas shopping is hard work, isn't it?
Yes.
It surely is. Have you seen those mince pies? They look quite good, don't they?
I tell you what, as you say, it's very hot work, and I think what you need is a refreshment stall. And if you come this way, we have a refreshment stall to beat them all. They are serving drinks here, they're serving crisps and all sorts of things. But I think to go with that drink, how about, do you think food might be a good idea?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I think our cover of the year might be on the way with something that might be...
Cover of the year, 2 years on the run,
Oh, of course, 2 years.
Right,
I'm very,
please.
very sorry.
Yes, here are the mince pies. They're 15 pence each. Would you like to try
I'd
one?
love one, actually,
Okay,
yes.
try one.
Thank you very much. Shall I try?
Yep, okay. Very nice. Okay, guys, if you can start putting the price up on
Sell
those.
those and make
Give
a lot
me
of money.
sheet over here. Thanks
Mince
very much.
pies,
Okay.
very Christmassy, and how traditional. And Hereford itself is somewhere where tradition is all around you.
People have gathered to celebrate Christmas on this site at Hereford for over 1,300 years. But even wandering through these cloisters, it's hard to imagine what life must have been like for people who lived here hundreds of years ago. Despite the echoes of the past that drift all around you on a winter's evening. Hereford is a perfect place to try a bit of time travel, though, back into the distant world of the Middle Ages. The cathedral is home to one of the finest medieval libraries in the world and is full of treasures.
This is the oldest book I have ever read, the Hereford Gospels, written over 1,000 years ago.
Et pastores erant e regione iedem vigilantes. This is the Christmas story as it would have been heard in the year 796. Et ecce angelus domines.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them. And they were sore.
The book was written in Latin when Hereford was part of Mercia, a small kingdom ruled by King Offa, before England and Wales even existed as they do today. For hundreds of years, the cathedral was a great centre of learning, like a modern university. Scholars travelled from far and wide to study the handwritten books. They were so valuable that they were chained to the shelves to stop them being stolen. The library is still here. The books are still chained and more valuable than ever. Hereford is home to some remarkable books, but its greatest treasure is a map.
The Mappa Mundi. It was drawn just over 700 years ago and is the only complete wall map of the world known to have survived from the Middle Ages.
At first sight, it's a bit of a mess. Everything looks as if it's in the wrong place, but if you turn the map on its side, it makes more sense. Britain is now in the top left corner. Here's London, Edinburgh, and you can faintly see Hereford. The map was probably drawn by a man called Richard. He's shown riding away, having finished the job.
Jerusalem is at the centre. It was considered the most important city in a world which was dominated by religion.
Many of the places on the map are found in the Bible. Bethlehem, where Jesus was born, Mount Calvary, where he was crucified. Some were known for events taking place at the time the map was drawn. The castle, newly built at Conway by King Edward I, who was still conquering Wales. But the map was never intended to show people how to get from one place to another. This was the world as people living in the 13th century saw it. The mapmaker drew the creatures which were reported to live in the furthest reaches of the world. In India, an elephant. In the Mediterranean Sea, a swordfish with a sword. There are strange men and women like the Blemii in Africa who had no heads. The people who saw all this could have no idea what was real and what was fantasy, the rhinoceros or the unicorn. They were meant to look at the map and marvel at the wonders God had created. Even paradise, the Garden of Eden, was shown, just off the coast of India.
The people who were waiting here for Christmas 700 years ago lived in the world of the map, a world where almost everything beyond their town was a mystery which they could never hope to explore for themselves.
It was a world where the cathedral was the source of all learning, where only priests and churchmen were able to explain the natural world, and where, for the Christians of Hereford, Christmas was one of the most eagerly awaited festivals of the year, as it is today.
And the good news is that Blue Peter Badge winners get in free.
Excellent.
There we are.
Now, the Hereford Cathedral School Bring and Buy is going down a storm. It's packed with bringers and buyers. In fact, it's so busy, we couldn't bring the totalizer inside.
But we have brought it with us.
Yes!
If you take a look at our totalizer camera outside in the cloisters. Yes, you can see that it's still flashing away at the £200,000 stage. The actual amount raised is 247,000, I should say, £589. So after today's sale and all the other sales that are planned, let's hope we'll soon reach our target of £500,000.
Yes, and if you haven't had your sale yet, then please remember to hold it very soon. Every penny you raise will go to help people who suffer the devastating effects of leprosy. Imagine suddenly not being able to walk properly. Imagine that your hands are so injured that you can't hold a pen or ride a bike. That's what leprosy does. It attacks the nerves in the hands and feet. When you can't feel anything, you injure yourself and suffer terrible disabilities. Your Bring and Buy sales will help rid people of the disease in Brazil and India, so thousands of people will be spared the horror of living with leprosy.
Good luck with all your sales. Now, we might not have been able to have squeezed in our totalizer into the Bring and Buy sale, but we did have room for our beautiful Advent crown. Now, Advent means coming or arrival, and it's at this time of the year that Christians all over the world look forward to the birth of the baby Jesus on Christmas Day. And today is the day that we light our first candle on our Advent crown. And as we're in Hereford, who better to do it than Hereford's very own Boy Bishop von Hyatt. Hello there. Can you reach up to the top there? Oh, beautiful. Lovely. Oh, no. It's moving around, is it? Can you? Yay, well done, well done.
Well done, Paul. Did a better job than I did on my face.
I get so excited when the Advent crown comes out.
Christmas isn't Christmas without lighting the Advent crown. And from now until Christmas, we'll light another candle on each show. And on Monday, it's our Christmas Blue Peter. So we'll be displaying all the handmade Christmas cards that you've been sending in.
Yeah, we've had a brilliant day here today. I want to thank all the bringers and buyers who've been brilliant. And a special thank you to Hereford Cathedral for making us feel so welcome.
We'll be back on Wednesday, back in the studio, but we'll leave you with Hereford Cathedral Junior School Choir with the Christmas carol, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.